Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. News without the hype and biased reporting. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. The United States military says it carried out targeted strikes in southern Iran on Monday, hitting what officials described as threats to American forces in the region. According to U.S. Central Command, the operation targeted missile launch positions and Iranian boats that were allegedly attempting to place naval mines in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important shipping routes. Military officials said the action was taken as a defensive measure to protect U.S. personnel. A U.S. military spokesperson stated that American forces remain committed to defending troops while exercising restraint during the ongoing ceasefire. A senior U.S. official said 2 vessels linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps were detected laying mines in the waterway, prompting the military response. U.S. forces also struck a surface-to-air missile site in the port city of Bandar Abbas after it reportedly engaged American aircraft. Officials say both the vessels and the missile installation were destroyed. The strikes came amid reports of explosions near the Strait of Hormuz, including in Bandar Abbas and near the coastal towns of Sirak and Jask. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump renewed his call for Iran to surrender its stockpile of enriched uranium for destruction. In a social media post, Trump described the material as nuclear dust and said it should either be transferred to the United States or eliminated under international supervision. He also reiterated support for expanding the Abraham Accords as part of a broader regional peace effort. This is Streaming News Network. The Supreme Court has handed the Trump administration a legal victory, overturning a lower court ruling that blocked a policy requiring immigration judges to obtain official approval before delivering speeches in their official roles. The dispute centers on a rule from the Executive Office for Immigration Review, the agency that oversees approximately 750 immigration judges nationwide. The policy requires judges to seek authorization before speaking publicly while representing their official positions. Last year, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals stepped in and ruled against the requirement, citing concerns that arose after President Donald Trump dismissed several agency leaders responsible for reviewing complaints and oversight matters. In Tuesday's decision, the Supreme Court did not address whether the policy itself is lawful. Instead, the justices reversed the appeals court ruling and sent the case back for further proceedings. While the legal fight is not over, the ruling is viewed as a win for the Trump administration, which has faced ongoing court challenges related to its immigration enforcement agenda and efforts to carry out large-scale deportations. The case will now return to the lower courts for additional review. This is Streaming News Network. A California man says a routine online purchase has turned into a legal battle after he claims he never received the tablet computer he ordered from Best Buy. Los Angeles writer and activist Stephen Underwood says he purchased an iPad mini, but when the package arrived, he found something completely unexpected inside. According to Underwood, the box contained prescription medications belonging to another person instead of the device he had ordered. Underwood says the incident left him both angry and concerned, arguing that the shipment may have exposed sensitive personal medical information. He described the mix-up as a serious privacy issue and says he immediately contacted the retailer to seek a resolution. However, Underwood claims that after multiple calls and filing several claims, he was unable to secure either a replacement device or a refund for his purchase. Frustrated by the outcome, he says he has decided to take the matter to small claims court. The dispute has gained attention online, where Underwood shared details of his experience and criticized the company's handling of the situation. Best Buy has not publicly commented on the allegations. This is Streaming News Network. Actress Katie Holmes was honored by the American Ballet Theatre during its annual Spring Gala in New York City, celebrating her longtime support of the arts and dedication to classical dance. Holmes attended the event alongside her mother, Kathleen Stothers Holmes, continuing a family tradition of appearing together at the prestigious gala. The actress was recognized for her efforts to help preserve and advance classical ballet while encouraging and supporting the next generation of performers. During her acceptance speech, Holmes thanked her mother and reflected on the many years they have attended the event together. She spoke about ballet's lasting impact, describing it as an art form that inspires, heals, and creates meaningful human connections across generations. The American Ballet Theatre praised Holmes as a devoted advocate for the arts and a longtime supporter of the organization. The mother-daughter pair also attended the gala together last year, joined by Holmes' father, Martin Holmes, underscoring the family's continued support for the performing arts. This is Streaming News Network. Canadian authorities have launched a homicide investigation following the discovery of the remains of actor Stuart McLean, who had been missing for nearly a week. McLean, 45, was last seen on May 15 at his home in Lions Bay, British Columbia. He was reported missing 3 days later, prompting an extensive search effort led by local search and rescue teams. Police say investigators uncovered evidence that led them to believe McLean was the victim of a homicide. As a result, the case was transferred from a missing person investigation to the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team. Authorities confirmed that McLean's remains were discovered in the Lions Bay area on Friday. Investigators, along with forensic specialists, continue to work to determine the circumstances surrounding his death. McLean was known to television audiences for appearances in the TV shows Virgin River, Supernatural, and Arrow. His most recent role was in a 2026 episode of Virgin River. Following the announcement, McLean's sister shared a statement remembering him as genuine, caring, honest, and funny, saying he would be missed immensely by his family. The investigation remains ongoing. This is Streaming News Network. The baseball world is mourning the loss of former Atlanta Braves star Bob Horner, who has died at the age of 68. The Braves announced Horner's passing, although no cause of death was released. His death comes during an especially difficult period for the organization and its fans, following the recent deaths of former owner Ted Turner and Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox. A native of Kansas who grew up in Arizona, Horner was selected first overall by the Braves in the 1978 Major League Baseball draft after a standout career at Arizona State University. He was quickly promoted to the major leagues and made an immediate impact, earning National League Rookie of the Year honors in his first season. Horner became one of the faces of the Braves franchise during the late 1970s and much of the 1980s, alongside fellow star Dale Murphy. He was selected to the All-Star Game in 1982, the same year Atlanta captured its first division title in more than a decade. Horner is survived by his wife, Chris, and their 2 sons, Tyler and Trent. This is Streaming News Network. A Minnesota woman convicted of orchestrating one of the largest pandemic-related fraud schemes in U.S. history has been sentenced to more than 41 years in federal prison. Amy Bach, the former leader of Feeding Our Future, received a 500-month sentence for her role in a scheme that prosecutors say diverted approximately $250 million intended to feed children during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to court findings, Bach and her co-conspirators created fraudulent meal counts, fake attendance rosters, and falsified invoices to obtain federal funds. Prosecutors said the money was then used for personal purchases rather than child nutrition programs. The case also exposed significant oversight failures. Audits found that warning signs were repeatedly missed, allowing the fraud operation to continue for nearly 2 years before it was uncovered. In addition to the prison sentence, Bach has been ordered to repay $243 million. The investigation remains ongoing, with federal and state prosecutors continuing to pursue dozens of other defendants tied to the scheme. The scandal has also led to policy changes in Minnesota, where lawmakers recently approved the creation of a new Inspector General's office to strengthen oversight of social service programs and help prevent future fraud. This is Streaming News Network. Authorities in Washington state are investigating a deadly industrial accident after a chemical tank imploded at a paper mill, killing multiple workers and leaving several others unaccounted for. The incident occurred shortly after 7:15 Tuesday morning at Nippon Dynawave Packaging in Longview. Company officials confirmed that several employees died when a large tank containing industrial chemicals suddenly burst. Emergency responders described the scene as a mass casualty event. Several workers were transported to area hospitals with serious injuries, including burns and possible inhalation-related trauma. Officials have not released the exact number of fatalities or the number of people still missing as rescue and recovery efforts continue. Family members gathered outside the facility throughout the day seeking information about loved ones who were working at the plant. The Longview facility manufactures pulp, paper, and packaging products used in items such as tissues, cups, plates, cartons, and printing paper. The plant employs roughly 1,000 workers. Authorities say the tank contained a chemical mixture known as white liquor, a highly corrosive substance commonly used in paper production. The mixture primarily contained sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide. Investigators are now working to determine what caused the implosion and whether any safety issues contributed to the tragedy. Reality television personality Lindsay Crisley Campbell has reportedly been arrested in Georgia on multiple traffic-related charges, including suspicion of driving under the influence. According to authorities in Cherokee County, Campbell, 36, was taken into custody early Sunday morning and charged with suspected DUI, attempting to elude police, reckless driving, speeding, and improper passing. Officials say she was later released the same day after posting bond. Records indicate Campbell was specifically arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence while considered less safe to drive, a charge that can be filed even when a driver's blood alcohol concentration is below the legal limit of 0.08%. Campbell, a podcaster and former star of the reality television series Crisley Knows Best, has denied wrongdoing and says she intends to fight the charges. She told media outlets that she was attempting to avoid a potential accident involving another vehicle and an animal on a two-lane roadway when she was stopped by police. Campbell is the oldest daughter of Todd Crisley, whose family has faced a number of legal controversies in recent years. The charges against Lindsay Campbell remain pending, and no conviction has been reported. This has been a report by Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.